Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. A couple quick clarifications up front. Number one, I am trading futures. If you don't know what futures are, I'll put a link down below to a totally free 4-part series that goes through the futures market and how it all works. But futures are absolutely amazing, especially if you are in the world of stocks or options, and perhaps you fall under that pattern day trading rule and you're just very annoyed and frustrated by that. Well, in the world of futures, there is zero pattern day trading rule. You can day trade as much as you want. So right there, hopefully that sparks some of your interest to want to learn more. Second, I am trading futures through a prop firm. What is a prop firm? How does a prop firm work? What prop firm am I using? All that you can learn about in the link that you see up at the top of the screen. I'll also put it down below. But in a nutshell, a prop firm is a way for you to put very little of your money at risk, and then you have a whole lot of upside potential. So if you do want to learn more, then check out that link, and you can learn more at the site there. So, all right, I will go ahead. Oh, another nice thing about futures is if you have a full-time job or something, they're essentially open around the clock. So yes, I made these trades in combination, some of them last night, some of them earlier this morning. So I'm technically, quote unquote, starting the day already up in the green. So yes, futures, for argument's sake, are essentially open around the clock. So if you have a busy schedule, there's usually always time somewhere to find to trade them. So, all right, I'll pause the screen recording software, and I'm watching this trend line here. I put this trend line up a long time ago, and it just continues to reject. So you got to think there's going to be that many more people watching it. So maybe we can get some sort of spike up through it. So I'm watching that very closely, but as I speak right now, the price is coming down, but we'll see if the price wants to curl back up. All right, now I promise I'm going to pause. All right, it is in. Or I should say I am in. Looking for a break of that line. There we go. Very nice, quick little scalp of the break. Up 555 there. Sort of chased it, given the move started down here. That had me worried. It would have been nice if it would have crept up here and then broke. So that's what had me a little worried. I partially chased it to an extent. Again, it still worked out fine. I still like the trade, but that's why I was a little probably, I was more trigger happy than I would have been had the price slowly crept up here and then broke. But again, this move started down here and went all the way up here before it even, had tested that line. So in some senses a chase, which is why, I wanted to be still obviously willing to take the trade because I took it, but that's why I just wanted to err a little bit more on the side of caution. So good first little trade there as I got the breakout. And yeah, that's exactly why it's coming back down. So I may look to try to buy a pullback here if it wants to come back down, but I will go ahead and pause. And this is exactly why I wanted to be more aggressive because, yes, pretty nasty pullback here. And yeah, this would be a very painful situation. Maybe it comes back up, but yeah, having to drop all the way down here, that'd be pretty rough. So I'm very happy with how I played that one. All right, looking for a pullback buy here to yellow line. Just starting off small to give myself some flexibility. In. See what it wants to do here. All right, take a little scalp on that one. Was hoping it was going to drop down to the purple line, maybe even these lows right here, so I could have added more in before the bounce, but it didn't, and it bounced, so decided to take my profit. I will look to start the sequence over again very soon. Again, just starting with 5 MNQ, so nothing big, but it does give myself flexibility. And I'd be interested in more than the 5, but now it's bouncing back up. All right, I'll pause. All right, looking to potentially, tad bit slow on it. Let's see if it wants to. Well, I wanted to get short at that yellow line, but I was not quite fast enough. I don't like this vertical crosshair. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I was focused on. I'm still focused on trying to figure out how to get rid of this vertical crosshair. Does anybody know? Tradovate users in the comment section. If you don't mind, let me know. Maybe I can figure it out here, but I really don't like the vertical. The vertical for me is not doing it. Just, but I don't know. Maybe you can't do that. Yeah, it's a shame. I let that distract me enough to have it now come down. Just one of those things. It's getting in my way sometimes. All right, I'll pause. Okay, I have an order at that green line. Again, just 5 MNQ. Give myself some flexibility. We'll see if it wants to. Actually, I can move it down a little bit more. There we go. As of now, it's bouncing. All right, I'll pause. All right, looking at potentially a short. Want to see it come up a bit more. Come on up. Maybe I'm getting too picky on it. Very well could be the case. I mean, I'm green on the day. So, I mean, in my mind, it's like worst case, I don't get filled. Oh, well, I'm still at a nice green day, but. All right, I'll pause. All right, I am going to try something here. All right, go short if it comes down to that red line there. And my stop will be right there, assuming I get filled. Okay, I'm in. Let's see if this wants to start to come down now. Good. Nice. Nice little 1-to-1 there. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. I should still be in with at least 2 contracts. But I didn't need to take out all 5 there. I was just looking at, hey, I got a little more than 1-to-1 on a very quick trade. But yeah, probably not the best mechanics on that one. Should have scaled out. Why should I still have 2? Well, what happens if this thing really comes down? Then by locking in 3, I'd be in the green a little bit and have my risk mitigated very, very nicely with still being in the game to potentially reap a lot. But again, I think maybe in the back of my mind, hey, you're green. You're already a little bit more green. That's bad, though, because if this thing, I really do hope this crashes so I can look like a fool and illustrate my point here. Because if it goes up, then people are, and myself included, is going to say, see, I played that right. I'm glad I got fully out. But that would be, not a good trade because, again, bad mechanics on that one. I had a tight stop, so no reason to have just hopped all out just because I had a little over 1-to-1. So, yes, I hope this really does come down so I look foolish, and then you can get the meat and potatoes of the learning lesson here. But regardless, even if this thing explodes upwards, doesn't matter. I should, all right, there we go. So I should have taken all, so I would have been knocked out of those 2 up there. So, yeah. I realized, oh, well, so you played it right? No, I still played it wrong because I've been in those situations, maybe you have too, where you get out and then the thing really goes in your favor and you're like, whoops. All right, looking to buy at that green line in, out, very good, for 475. Wait, what's going on? Another cool thing about prop firms is you can have multiple accounts. And with multiple accounts, you can eventually copy trade them if you want. So you could have, with the prop firm, I'm using 5 accounts. So you can make one trade. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just saying, why have multiple accounts? Well, you can get to the point where you could have 5 accounts. And if you make one trade for $500 on the one account, but you copy it to the 4 other accounts, then you would actually be at $2,500 total. Sure, you only make that one trade for the $500, but because you copied that same trade to the 4 other accounts, you actually made that trade 5 times for $500. So that is what is occurring there. and why, you know, this is all of a sudden different. And I can go back to, so there's the, that's what I started with. So that's another account, but then this is a separate account right here. All right. Well, I think I don't think I totally nailed the top of it there, but a nice little bounce. I'll go ahead and pause. I'm gonna go ahead and call it good. So about with commissions, let's call it about 450 in this account, and then the other account I was trading 8, 9. So with commissions, I don't know, let's call it about 850. So overall, happy with my day, and that's the power of futures. So like I said, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing with futures and the prop firm and all that, make sure you check out that link that you see up at the top of the screen. And then finally, before I go, I want to invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering. So if you are interested in more so learn about the tools I'm using to build consistency, most importantly, manage risk, and then just make sure you have the right framework for the market in terms of how you're approaching it, the logic you're using, then get signed up for the class, as it'll make sure that you're looking at things through the proper lens with the proper kind of understanding of how to go about things and how, more importantly, not to go about things. But check out the link down below, or just go to claytro.com/live to learn when the next live class is. So thanks for hanging out. As always, if you enjoy these live trade videos, hit that like button. If you're not yet a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you are aware of when new content like this is released. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.